Hello and welcome once again to the Kentucky Artist Spotlight. I'm Leo Freak Daddy Brown of RadioKY.live. Kevin Holm, Hudson with us. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. You're not originally from Kentucky, but you've been around here a while. First off, where are you from?
I'm actually from Wilmington, Delaware.
Wilmington, Delaware. Okay.
Yeah, over out east. So, if you remember the movie Wayne's World, they had a good joke about being in Delaware.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, Delaware's not known for much, but actually Wilmington is pretty cool. Bob Marley lived there for a while.
Did he really?
Yes, he did. He was a Chrysler auto plant worker before he was famous. He had family up in Wilmington.
Bob
And
Marley.
George
The
Thorogood.
Bob Marley.
Yeah,
Wait a
and
minute.
George
Wait.
and George Thorogood also.
The Bob Marley, before he was Bob Marley and the Wailers, was working in an auto plant?
Yes.
I
Wilmington,
just thought he
Delaware.
was a Jamaican dude. I thought he was always a Jamaica guy.
Well, he spent some time in the States and then went back. I mean, I think it was only a couple of years, but he does have that song "Night Shift" about working the forklift, and I think that draws on his factory experiences.
I'm not that deep in the catalog of Bob Marley. I know a lot.
Well,
of
you should be.
I'm going to have to be now, right?
Right.
I have to be now.
Got to fact check me here.
So, how long have you been in Kentucky?
25 years.
Okay, that's a good long time.
I came to Kentucky in pursuit of a job at UK.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been at UK 25 years and have enjoyed it all very much.
And you're still doing that?
Ride. Still doing it.
Wow.
I'm not at a point yet, I think, where I could really afford to retire.
Sure. I get it.
But hanging in there.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. So I like to ask this little part of the show. So what's your favorite thing about Kentucky?
Nature.
Nature. Yeah.
Yeah, especially the Red River Gorge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's something special, without question.
Yeah. I didn't do it last year, but for a number of years, during my spring break, I would rent one of the cabins down there at the gorge and bring my guitar and just write songs.
Oh, yeah.
And that was fantastic. And
That's
go
awesome.
out during the daytime and hike and whatnot, and then spend the evening with some bourbon and writing songs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing like those types of inspiration, bourbon and nature.
There you go.
They'll pull you into focus for sure, unless you do too much bourbon.
True.
And then you probably don't want to be in the Red River Gorge because it could be very dangerous.
Right. I don't want to be the subject of any rescue operations.
Or a bear attack.
That too. Thanks for putting these thoughts in my head.
You get brazen with the bourbon thing. I ain't take this guy.
Now I have bears to worry about. Great.
So you've done a lot of bands over the years. I know Twig and Berries, you're a part of that. That was a big, well-known act. And now you do some solo stuff. What's going on career-wise with you right now, and where you headed?
Well, my last album came out in February called Traveler's Rest. Most of my music is available on Bandcamp, so I'm kind of going that route.
Mm-hmm.
This summer, doing a bit of traveling. Just got back from Morocco, which was a terrific experience.
Did you play music in Morocco?
I did, actually.
That's awesome.
We were staying at an Airbnb in Tangier, and the owner of the Airbnb, our host, when we checked in, and we saw that he had 3 guitars propped up over in the corner of the living room. I'm like, well, that's unusual. That must mean that he's a musician and enjoys a good party. So the next morning, we met with him the next morning over breakfast, and we ended up playing songs for each other.
Oh, wow.
And then we went to another part of Morocco called Jajuka, where there's a famous musical ensemble there called the Master Musicians of Jajuka. Brian Jones from the Rolling Stones went down there and recorded them and hung out with them. It's a great story. We went back to Tangier, though, before we went home, and we got together with our Airbnb host again, just to play music for each other.
That's awesome.
And his style was really interesting because, I mean, he didn't use unusual tunings, but he had these unusual finger shapes on the fretboard and came up with these really interesting, rich, dark kind of sonorities. Yeah. And so I mean, I really hadn't heard. I mean, I think it was definitely the influence of Morocco in his playing.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. So we find you at Bandcamp. That's where your album is.
Yeah, it's Kevin-Holm-Hudson .bandcamp.com.
And you're a multi-instrumentalist, so are you playing a lot of different instruments on this, or what are you doing?
I am. I mostly play guitar and keyboards, but I also do bass. Obviously, is kind of an extension of guitar.
Hmm.
And on the last album, Traveler's Rest, really the focus there is on vocals because one of my friends just happened to say, like, your voice is your secret weapon, which I'm going to get made into a shirt sometime.
Yeah, right. You should. Yeah.
But I took that to heart and ended up, instead of just double tracking my voice, doing things like quadruple tracking. And then there's one number on the album that's entirely a cappella. It's all voice, and there's like 16 tracks.
That's cool.
I've got my own miniature choir going.
Did you do the 10cc thing with the sliders?
No. But and I think they were aware of this with the number of voices they put on each of those sliders, is that once you get past maybe triple tracking, once you get into 4 tracking or more than that, the sound of your voice just blossoms. It changes.
Really? Wow. Well, they had 88, right? They recorded an entire piano level of tones, is what I understood.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many they had, but I think they may have piggybacked and done like 8 tracks on each individual.
It was a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
So I do all the vocals, and I think that's true of Traveler's Rest. At every song I do all the vocals. Nobody else helped me with the vocals, but I do have some musicians with my band, the Adjuncts, David Chapman on drums, and my son Toby on bass, Toby Holm Hudson, and then also our producer Jim Gleason contributes some scorching guitar. He just recently won a Lexington Music Award, and I am so privileged and blessed to work with him.
Yeah, you're working with some good dudes. Well, Kevin, we're out of time, man. We got a late start, had some technical difficulties, which happens, but thank you so much for joining us here. Spread the word of what's going on, and we'll get your track spinning real soon.
Great. Thanks for having me. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Kevin.